Hello everyone at the 2014 State Policy Network's annual meeting. I'm Soumitra Subinay, an advocate of liberty from India. As India celebrates her 67th Independence Day this August 15, I, as a soon-to-be lawyer, am going to make a case for the need for liberty to usher in world peace in this honorable court presided by you, all the ladyships and lordships present at this prestigious 2014 State Policy Network's annual meeting. I would at first like to thank Think Freely Media for giving me this opportunity to present my case before you all. Before I start, I would need to leave my body for some time. Yes, you heard that right. Hello everyone, I'm not Soumitra. I'm a different soul donning his body now. I'm Mohammad Bouazizi. Do you remember me? I was a food vendor on a narrow dusty Sidi Bouzid street in Tunisia. The only breadwinner of my family, I sweated under the hot sun daily to feed my old mother, uncle and 5 siblings at home. Since the age of 12, when I began work, I had been dreaming to afford title to my family house. I could thereafter have mortgaged the house to purchase a van and expand my business. An hour before I immolated myself and ignited the Arab Spring, a policewoman had confiscated my belongings, which included a crate of bananas worth $9, 2 crates of pears worth $15, 3 crates of apples worth $22, and a second-hand electronic weight scale worth $179. You think $225 was too low to drive me to suicide? Think again. Without my belongings, how would have I fed my family of 7? How would have I paid back my creditors from whom I had borrowed money to buy all those fruits? Without my scale, how would have I gained access to standardized markets and been accountable to my customers? With the termination of my arrangement by the police to park my stand on the streets, how would have I survived? Without my belongings, how could have I dreamt of a future? Dear members of this honorable court, to create a lawful enterprise in Tunisia, I would have had to establish a small sole proprietorship. This would require undertaking 55 administrative steps during 142 days and expenses of about $3,233, 12 times my monthly net income, excluding maintenance and exit costs. Even if I had secured the money and time to establish the sole proprietorship firm, the law did not permit me to pool resources by inviting new partners to join, limit liability to protect my family's assets, and finally issue shares and stocks to collect new investment. The right to life, liberty, and property are natural rights recognizing the inherent dignity of humans. A human's inherent dignity stems from a possession of a human corpus that can own, possess, and transfer labor and its products. The right to liberty subsumes the right to protect this labor and its products against state interference. When instead, the state regulation strangulates this right to protect labor and its products, the right to liberty becomes unrealizable, and thus a human's inherent dignity becomes extinct. When this dignity reaches extinction, one is forced into irrecoverable depression, enervating one to irrecoverable destitution. When one is forced into irrecoverable destitution, she commits suicide like I did. A world where inherent dignity and the right to life, liberty, and property of all can be fully realized is a world full of peace. By peace, I mean absence of violence with abundance of happiness in the world. Mahatma Gandhi, one of the greatest messiahs of peace, had stated that poverty is the worst form of violence, and I believe the state must not inflict this worst form of violence on anyone. Honorable court, I am back now. Soumitra is back now. I have regained my soul but still retain Bouazizi's thinking cap. Now I will tell you, through a Bouazizian lens, how world peace can be achieved. Bouazizi taught me that the means to world peace is eliminating poverty. Bouazizi also taught me that a vital means to combat poverty in the world is averting inevitable waste. Imagine a world with no government. Such a world can prevent inevitable waste, which I and Bouazizi both believe generates penury. Bouazizi made me realize that population density, illiteracy, and colonization are half-truths behind global poverty. Some densely populated countries are poor, such as China and India. In 2001, China had 134 persons per square kilometer, while India had 337. Their gross national product per capita then were $972 and $486 respectively. Some densely populated countries are rich. In 2001, Singapore had 5,540 persons per square kilometer and Japan had 337. Their gross national product per capita then were $21,644 and $29,447 respectively. While the literacy rate of an Indian state, Kerala, was 90% in 1991 and 1992, the state per capita income was 5,786 rupees. In 1991-1992, the literacy rates of two other states, Indian states, Punjab and Haryana, were 59% and 56% respectively, with corresponding state per capita income being 11,217 and 9,037 rupees respectively. In 1995, the GNP per capita of the UK, that is United Kingdom, was $18,700, while that of its colony, Hong Kong, was $22,900. Thus, I now believe that the world can be made free from poverty if regulation, starting with the ones similar to the ones that kill Bouazizi, is eliminated. Delhi, the capital of the world's largest democracy, India, will provide you with some startling insights. Delhi has about 500,000 rickshaws providing affordable service to the public. The Delhi Municipal Corporation has mandated that rickshaws must be licensed and only 99,000 licenses shall be awarded. This means more than 80% of the cycle rickshaws are illegal. Studies reveal that on average, a bribe of rupees 200, that is Canadian $5 per month per cycle rickshaw is paid. Thus, the government functionaries extort 10 million rupees per month from the rickshaw pullers. Similarly, Delhi's about 600,000 street vendors operate without the mandatory license and pay up approximately rupees 12 million a month in bribes. These examples show precisely why the poor worldwide remain below the poverty line and cannot grow rich due to the state regulation, howsoever well intentioned these may be. Under this backdrop, I make my case for liberty before this honorable court at the 2014 State Policy Network Annual Assembly, reiterating that eliminating regulation eliminates evitable waste, thereby ushering in world peace. It is better for the environment as well, because more people then successfully and sustainably climb the Maslow's hierarchy of needs to be able to afford environmental protection. Such a world will also abound in happiness, even more than the happiest countries such as Denmark, Finland, Norway, who top the UN's first World Happiness Rankings. I firmly believe such a world will prevent a zillion present and future Bouazizis from committing suicide. Thank you.